As always, starting with an Indigo bike ride through Chinatown, Philadelphia. Love the Chinatown gate, always got to film that. And of course there's this new mural representing new changes to Philly. So good morning, it is Friday, August 14th. It's like 4:50 in the morning and I'm about to begin this bus ride across the country, but first a brief detour to Boston. I'm right here in Chinatown, Philadelphia, ready to catch my first bus up to Boston with the king. Emphasis. Yeah, bus leaves at 5:20, which is in about 30 minutes, so now I'm just gonna hang out. Here's the new bus station in Philly, which opened earlier this year in 2026, crossing the Ben Franklin Bridge. And as always, driving through Jersey. This is my first time stopping at the Cherry Hill Mall, just over the bridge from Philly. Here's those bins from the Sopranos intro. The oil bins, I guess is what they are. Woke up this morning, got yourself a gun. The Pulaski Skyway right here is one of my favorite bridges in the whole country, so I've got to film it. Just look at that beast. This is Newark Penn Station, one of the worst places on earth. I'm at Penn Station in Newark, New Jersey. This is like one of my least favorite train stations in the world. I hate this place. About 20 minutes and then I board my next bus up to Boston. Took about 2 hours. Unremarkable. Sat in seat 20A next to the toilet. Kind of smelled like urinal cakes the whole time. But that's it. I think I'm sitting next to the toilet again. So now I'm on a direct bus headed to Boston. No stops in the middle, which is pretty cool. But yeah, I also showed that there was some FIFA stuff still in Newark since the World Cup was just hosted in the area a few months ago. It's the American Dream Mall. Still haven't been yet, but one of these days I'll make it. Here I am crossing the George Washington Bridge into New York. However, we are just passing through. Here's one of those bridges over the Harlem River. Pretty cool. So here's a little Connecticut tease on I-684, and here's the real border with Connecticut on 84. Here we are passing through Waterbury, Connecticut, city that doesn't really make much sense to me, but it exists for some reason. Now here we are passing through Hartford. The state capitol building looks beautiful, but the rest of the city, not so much. Here's the Connecticut River, making our way onto I-84 still. And here I am a little while later, arriving in Boston, Massachusetts. I became preoccupied with something between Hartford and Boston, but here we finally are. The skyline here is very beautiful, and it's been a long time since I had been there, so I was thoroughly impressed. This is South Station in Boston. This is like the main hub that'll take you from Boston to any point south. I'm at South Station here in Boston. It was a faster ride than I expected. Probably only took like 3 hours. But I'm going to the street now, and my stomach hurts for some reason. But wasn't a bad ride. It was from the burrito the night before. And then I ate 3 bananas for breakfast. Bad idea.
Like that. The last time I was in Boston was in like December 2015, and it was so cold I couldn't even think about it or do anything. I was freezing the whole time, so it's interesting to be back here in the summer, repping Bird Gang.
Go Birds, dickhead. F Tom Brady.
For the birds everywhere I go, especially in enemy territory, but here we go.
Chinatown, Boston. Really cool place. Here we are in the Boston Commons. The whole time I was here, my stomach was hurting so bad, I had to sit by this mural and just wait for it to pass. We have the infamous duck boat. I used to take these tours in Philly when I was a kid, but then an accident happened a few years ago and they were banned.
If you're from Philly, you're probably surprised to see that they still got duck boats. They must not know what happened.
So there's the old State House. I love this view in Boston. This is probably one of my favorite views in the city. This Faneuil Hall, drinking some fancy treehouse IPAs. Here I am in the North End, which locals call Northie. This is the Italian neighborhood of Boston. Lots of really cool restaurants and Italian businesses. Really cool area. Wish I could have spent more time eating around here, but like I said, my stomach hurt. This is the harbor. They had a festival going on earlier that day. Repping Mama Sicilia. This is the viral homeless guy that spins around and screams at people. And now this is a quick trip on the MBTA commuter rail down to Mattapan. Went down here to get some Haitian food at Gourmet Creole. Had to flick up real quick. Drinking some Haitian Coron soda. I ordered Haitian fried chicken with rice and plantains. Nubian Square in Roxbury. I wanted to check out some of Boston's working class neighborhoods. Now this is the South End. See, it's beautiful. Beautiful skyline. On Friday night they had salsa at the Commons. I really wanted to dance, but my stomach was still hurting. I was afraid my gas might scare away my partner. This was an amazing night. Just love that view. So yeah, they got seagulls running the streets of Boston. But anyway, decided to wake up early and grab a rideshare bike and make my way down to the beach to actually take a glimpse of the ocean for the first time on this trip. That is an amazing sunrise. There's the harbor where they threw the tea off the boat or something and caused a revolution to happen. Right there.
Good morning. So it is Saturday, August 15th, 2026. Right now it's about 6:26 in the morning, and I'm here at the beach in South Boston.
Kind of a gross looking beach.
I did not make it here for the sunrise, but it's still very beautiful. And later today, I will be departing on my cross-country Greyhound journey, starting from right here, the Atlantic Ocean. I will be making my way across 15 states until I reach the Pacific Ocean in Santa Monica, California in a couple days. So, boom. This is the official start of my trip across America on the Greyhound, from sea to shining sea, starting with the sunrise in the East Coast to the sunset in the West Coast. Let's get it.
Now, technically, this is the Boston Harbor, but still counts. It's all salt water out there. Had to get some push-ups in. Now, this is Southie, or South Boston. This park was so beautiful. I mean, look at that view. Panoramic, sweeping views of the city and a lot of the surrounding areas. As you can see, it's pretty hilly. Even this hill was pretty steep. Climbing up was no joke. See, look at that. Really cute homes out here. This area is Irish Catholic. And I mean off the boat Irish. Got Dunks, Massachusetts institution. Here I am back on the MBTA, or the T as they call it. Right back downtown. There's that infamous slide, if you know, you know. Lots of stuff going on. There was this market. Overall, downtown Boston is a very vibrant place, and there was so much going on, and it was such a vibe to be there. Here I am headed to Charlestown. I heard of this neighborhood from The Town, which is that bank robbery movie, which is set here. Bunker Hill is also here. Boom, there it is. Now, if you play around in Charlestown, that's what they'll do to you. Had to take a quick trip over to Back Bay, which is right here. Another really cool area.
That's your sign to make new friends.
Randomly stumbled on this festival. Good vibes here. Anyway, I'm back at South Station, and it is officially time to embark on this trip. Alright, so it is 7:48 p.m. and I'm at South Station here in Boston, and it is time to officially begin on this cross-country Greyhound trip to Los Angeles. So, should be boarding right now actually. The bus departs at 8:15. Let's hope I have a decent night back to Philadelphia and no delays. And I have like a 30-minute layover in Philly to St. Louis, so I am already nervous about this scheduling. I only have like 12 hours to spare, so hopefully there won't be a significant delay here, and we'll roll into Philadelphia on time at about 3 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, well, that's Greyhound for you. But anyway, now I'm on my way. Got the sunset, or the end of the sunset, coming out of Boston. Here we are just rolling through Allston, which is a neighborhood on the western side of Boston. We were really headed here to Brookline, which is between Allston and the rest of Boston, but it's a separate town. See, the lights came on. 2 hours later, here we are in New Haven, Connecticut. At this point, there was space on the bus, but all of that was about to change once we got to New York. This is Bridgeport along I-95. There's that power plant. Stamford, not really sure why this place exists, but here it is. Pretty lights. Now it's just after midnight. This is the Bronx Whitestone Bridge. My first time crossing this bridge. Surprisingly though, to get to Manhattan, we're driving through Queens. Classic New York traffic right there. Glad to not be in it. The Queens Midtown Tunnel. Another first for me. And boom, here we are in Manhattan. It's the Empire State Building in the distance. It's 12:50 in the morning, and I just got to, I guess this is Madison Square Garden, Penn Station. About to close out this first leg, headed to Philadelphia next, back home to Philly, and then it's time to start the second leg out to St. Louis, which will take me through the rest of the night. I initially sat next to some drunk guy, and he was really annoying, but I was able to move seats, and then it was cool after that. So let me get a pretzel and get the 3:05 a.m. and I am complete with the first leg of the journey, Boston to Philadelphia. I'm back here in my home city only for about 15 minutes or so, and I'm supposed to board my next bus and begin the next leg of this journey from Philadelphia to
Man,
St.
I look
Louis.
so tired.
So again, I pray that everything goes well, but after this, once I get on my next bus, it'll be time to cross the first half of the country. They're so close to my face. Should get there sometime at like around 9 in the morning. So hopefully I'll sleep through the entire turnpike.
I slept through most of it, but we are on our way now to Pittsburgh. It's always fun to guess whether we'll stop at Midway or Sidling Hill. Whoop whoop. Finally rolling into Pittsburgh.
Please make sure you're taking all your personal property with you when you exit the coach.
Pro tip, never leave your unattended items on the bus. The ride from Philly to Pittsburgh feels like forever, but it's nice to finally be there.
So it is 8:50 in the morning, and I'm here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. It's been a while since I've been to Pittsburgh. I think the last time I was here was in like 2018. Last night was kind of rough.
I'm sitting next to this really big guy, and he's got the window seat, so I was kind of cramped. People kind of stink. Yeah, I don't know. It could have been worse, but it wasn't a great experience that during the night. But anyway, today, now we're headed the rest of the way across the Ohio River Valley into the Midwest as we make our way to St. Louis. But anyway, I'm at this place, about to get some coffee and just chill because I have a layover for about 2 hours. And there's the good old Pennsylvania Reading Railroad logo. Anyway, Pittsburgh, PA.
So this park was a short walk away from the bus station, and it was really cool to spend my time here.
25 push-ups by the Allegheny River here in Pittsburgh. Let's get it.
You got that classic view of those Pittsburgh bridges, the yellow ones in the background along the Allegheny River. Super cool spot. Not sure what this was.
Morning again from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I'm in this weird like sewer looking thing, but it's like artsy. But yeah, I got 2 hours here, so I'm gonna try to walk around and see the city. I was just on the Allegheny River. Yeah, next on the agenda, Wheeling, West Virginia. I think the next city stop will be Columbus. Yeah, I don't know. Pittsburgh's beautiful though. Love the bridges.
If you want, you could really walk into downtown Pittsburgh and see a lot more. This is one of my favorite sites in Pittsburgh. It's the old train station, which is now a hotel.
This bathroom is genuinely nasty as fuck.
Yeah, that's gross.
Not even any fucking soap.
Go to the bathroom in a cafe or something. Avoid the Pittsburgh bus station. But anyway, here we are passing all their sports teams. None of them have been good in a long time. There's Three Rivers Park, where the Allegheny and Monongahela form the Ohio River. Classic spot in Pittsburgh. This is Washington, PA, where we're going to meet up with I-70 and head west out to St. Louis. So welcome to West Virginia. This is state number 6. There's only about 12 miles to cross in West Virginia's northern panhandle. Wheeling into Wheeling, West Virginia. Wheeling is a pretty cool small city, even though it's lost a lot of population. The architecture is amazing, and boom, the crown jewel. This is the Roebling Bridge. This bridge is very old, from the 1800s. The bridge's architect, John Roebling, designed famous bridges across the country, including the Brooklyn Bridge and a bridge named after him in Cincinnati.
It's 11:55 in Wheeling, West Virginia, and we have about a 2-hour haul to Columbus next. Pretty cool town though. Lots of beautiful architecture here, but now we're about to cross into Ohio.
There's the Ohio River, but this is not Ohio yet. This is Wheeling Island in the middle of the Ohio River, still part of Wheeling, West Virginia. But here we go, crossing the actual state boundary right here. Now entering Ohio, state number 7. There's Bridgeport, Ohio. Kind of an Appalachian Rust Belt kind of town in this portion of southeastern Ohio. This part of Ohio is very much Appalachian still, lots of trees and hills. Catching a vibe real quick. Now here's the first major storm that we encounter on this trip. As soon as you get into the Midwest, it gets very stormy. Like, look at this, it's like a monsoon. Especially around this time of the summer. It actually got so bad that our bus driver pulled over, and that's not a street, that's a river that just formed. A little while later, here we are rolling into Columbus, Ohio, a city that's only good for passing through. This guy was freestyling, waiting to get on the bus at the east side station. There's the Scioto River. Now here's the west side station, still in Columbus. Looks like an old gas station. This lady was handing out Bibles. And on the western side of Ohio, it starts to flatten out quite a bit. Just like that. I got some Wendy's in Springfield, Ohio. There's the Ohio Buc-ee's, which is super weird. Not sure why there's a Buc-ee's, but there's some good old Americana right there. Skyline Chili. Definitely want to make it to this chain one day.
Michigan, this is your
Here's the
transfer
new
spot.
Dayton Trotwood Station. Last time I was here in 2018, it was just a parking lot in a dead shopping mall. Speaking of dead shopping malls, there's quite a few of them in this area. Here's just one of them that I managed to film. I mean, look at that. It is all empty. Here's the next state, Indiana, the crossroads of America, as they call it. In my opinion, Indiana is one of the most boring states in the country, but there's beauty in everything, including this. Here we are rolling into Indianapolis. We were supposed to have a long layover here. Someone's snoring. Sounds like he's cutting logs. But anyway, we have a short layover now due to the weather delays. It's supposed to be 2 hours. Now it's down to about 30, 45 minutes. Here's the station.
Alright, so I'm in Indianapolis, and this is our first major city break since Pittsburgh. There is Lucas Oil Stadium, and I am trying to run to get some White Castle in the next 15 minutes. Just started raining too. Anyway, that was a pretty tough haul. I mean, my legs hurted pretty bad. It was pretty fucking boring too. What can I say? But yeah, I gotta get that White Castle. I think my life depends on it, because this is the last time we're gonna eat until probably St. Louis.
Also, the Indianapolis employees at the bus station were pretty rude, and I saw some pretty crazy things going on there. Like one of them threatening to pepper spray someone's dog. Pretty crazy experience, but I was okay. Anyway, here's where the Indianapolis Colts play. I think they had Peyton Manning at one point. Here we are headed out of Indianapolis. And here's a nice little sunset over the Indiana prairies. Pretty nice.
What's up? It is 9:21 Central Time here in Effingham, Illinois. This is the final stop before we reach St. Louis. And yeah, we're going to reach St. Louis in about 2 hours. It's time for another night of sleep. I'm definitely exhausted. I got some snacks for the morning though, so that'll lift my spirits just a little bit. But yeah, Effingham, Illinois, next stop, St. Louis.
Here's the second big storm that we ran into as we're approaching St. Louis. And now finally crossing the Mississippi River into St. Louis, Missouri. And there's that beautiful arch that signifies that we have entered the gateway to the west. St. Louis is where the country's two largest rivers, the Mississippi and Missouri, intersect. Here's the streets of St. Louis around midnight. Someone's sawing wood again. Busch Stadium, home of the St. Louis Cardinals. And here's the station. This guy was frustrated about something.
Okay, it's just before midnight, and I am in St. Louis, Missouri. So I've officially completed the eastern half of the country. So now what lies ahead, at about 1:30, is the other half, the western half of the country. Overall, that was a pretty rough ride, I'm not gonna lie. The bus was pretty much full the entire time from every city, big and small. And it's storming in the area. So I'm really glad I got that over with. I'm looking forward to better scenery and a consistent window seat starting tomorrow. Anyway, there's the Amtrak.
There's my celebratory White Castle to mark the end of this half of the trip. Stay tuned for part 2.